Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Hello. Hello, hello. Wait, guys, it's the microphone is not working. Well, we're already live. Oh, yeah, now. Thank you. So, hello, everybody online. Hello, everybody here. Nice to see you for these last 3 days. We're on the last line, so I'm going to make this quick. I know all of you have a lot to do, so it's important that you know how to submit. There's a few new things maybe that you might want to hear, and also for the people online, so you're aware. So basically, last time I was here, we got to the point where you create a team or join the team, let's say, and we mentioned that there's this big submit button. Wait, sorry, I'm hearing myself, Human. I don't know if you can fix that. Wait, no, it's this. Sorry, it's the stream right here. I was hearing myself because you can see the stream, by the way, in your team page. So you can see we're right here. I was mentioning this button will only be visible to the person with this crown around the image, which means you are team leader. This is to avoid multiple submissions from the same team. And basically, when you click submit project, you see I already filled it with some random like letters. You will be asked for submission title. You will be asked for a short description, which needs to be, I believe, more than 60 characters and less than 255. And you will be asked for a long submission. I have here, let's look up real quick an example. Let's take the team that won from the last hackathon. We have them here, actually. You can see in here what this long submission description looks like. This is how a judge sees your submission. So it's important what goes here. It's basically the first piece of information that they will read before they go into presentation. So make sure you get your ideas across. Now, this is one of the most important parts for this event, and it's the categories. In the categories, there's many possible tags that you can add, but let me go to the Hackathon page real quick. If you remember, there are 3 specific tracks for this event. So it's procurement and policy innovation, network design and strategic planning, and optimizing resource allocation. So those are the 3 tracks. Your project should be identified with the tag of the track it belongs to. In this case, I wrote network planning and design. If I write policy, procurement and policy, here it is, right? If you feel multiple tags apply, please write them. And lastly, about tags, if you are a team that's returning from the first edition of the hackathon, it's very important that you search the, let's say, Giga, there you go. Returning project, Giga Hackathon 1. This is super, super, super important because, of course, there's a slightly adjusted judgment criteria for people that already had participation in the first hackathon. It's just more focusing on the evolution of the project than the starting of the project. And this is, of course, to ensure fairness between new projects and returning projects from the first edition of this. So very, very important. Of course, this affects, like, if you are a project from first hackathon and you do not you don't add this tag, this will have a negative impact in your scoring. Okay, and then you just add some technologies. Let's say, I don't know, I'm gonna type Mistral, MindsDB. There's a bunch of technologies. If anything applies to what you build, you can add as much as you want. This is not super crucial. I'm gonna go back to how the submission looks like. See, you're gonna see those tags like here. So you're going to see the technologies. It's just a small piece of information to help understand better the structure of the project. Then it's going to ask for a cover image. This is not necessary. What's going to happen, that's what's going to be shown here. If you don't put a cover image, AI generated image not related to your project, just some image gets it's like the miniature of the video, but once you play it, it's a normal video. Video presentation, of course, is your presentation. It's some sort of pitch. You need to balance well the amount of information you want to display, because it should not be longer than 5 minutes. If it's longer than 5 minutes, this will affect, of course, if it's 5 minutes, 1 second, it's not like you're going to lose half the scoring, but we had once a submission that was like 27-minute video. So you can imagine. So big emphasis on that, because of course we have a lot of projects. Judges have to go through a lot. The ideal is to make this as optimal and as properly as possible. If they watch 10-minute like videos for each presentation, after 3, they're going to be burned out. So in your presentation, it's really up to you. There's no very strong requirements in that there's a structure that you need to follow or anything like that. But we, of course, encourage that you cover all the most critical aspects, things like technical information. Was this built on top of? Which technologies did you use? Impact, of course, first, the problem that you're solving, future plans, because again, this is a hackathon, time is very limited, but it doesn't mean that your project doesn't have a huge potential. So you need to be able to balance saying all of this within 5 minutes. If some people also like to show a little bit of their solution within the presentation. So I think I have some videos that I just download here, some sample videos. This is just something I downloaded, and a presentation example. Again, this is completely irrelevant to this, but it's just to move on. So once you submit this, the video is the one that you will be able to play here, and the presentation will be available in this link. If I click it, it's just going to open the slides. Sorry about that. And this is the last page, in which you need your GitHub repository. You will see that it's not a mandatory field to be able to click the submit form. That does not mean that it's not a mandatory field for this event. Having the link to your GitHub repository is crucial, and it needs to be open. A lot of times people, maybe they don't check, or maybe, I don't know, they're not super familiar, and they create a private repository and they put the URL here. If you don't make sure your repository is public, anybody else who tries to click it, it will go into a 404 page that says not found. So super important that this is there. After that, demo application form. You have 4 options, the most popular and other. Important thing that happens a lot, if I choose Streamlit and then I provide a demo URL that is not a Streamlit URL, it won't let me submit it. So if you are clicking Streamlit, make sure you put the actual Streamlit URL, because this demo URL is looking at the format based on what you selected here. If it's something else, just type other and then problem solve. What about these demos? So actually, I skipped something about the repository, but I'll get to that in a second. The demos are usually either a link to try out the idea, prototype, application, whatever it is that you built. And this is hosted in one of these platforms. It can be hosted on your computer, and you have an ngrok running in the background that gives a public URL so people can try it out. Of course, you have to keep in mind security concerns when you do things like that. Make sure you don't expose any secrets, things like this. Alternatively, because we want to focus more on functionalities than UI. So if you don't really have a interface that you can interact with, but you have a, I don't know, a structured process, a pipeline, a prototype of an algorithm, you can record your screen. You can talk a bit over. It's like a second presentation, but it's purely technical. This is how you do it, and you could go through the flow what someone would do if they're using it. And then you, since it's a URL that you have to upload, you can host it in a like cloud, like Google Drive, or put it in YouTube, and then you just put the URL here. Again, if you're putting Google Drive, just make sure you make it public so everybody can see it. And any additional information that you think it should be taken into consideration. Once you fill all of these, you will be able to hit submit. Submissions closes at 4. If you hit submit anytime before that, you can edit it at any point. I don't know if you noticed that when I open mine, it already had this text in it because I had already opened it and I had already put this stuff and I closed it. And when I go back and open it, I can change it. After 4 p.m., the button is gone. There's no way to access this. So please be mindful of time. Presentation takes time. Don't leave it for the last 30 minutes thinking, oh yeah, I can do this like in 10 minutes. We've seen it countless times. Doesn't work like that. For people in here, we'll try to provide you with a quiet space if you need to record. So if you need it, please let us know. And about the GitHub repository, something that's important is open source. Remember, your solutions need to be open source. What does it mean again? Code is public available. Anybody can use it, download it, share it. Best practices, this is highly encouraged, and of course is going to be taken into account, is that your GitHub repository have things like the license, which type of license your project falls under. We gave a preferable license there, but anything that's open source, of course, qualifies. A README that explains what's this project, who is it like aimed for, general information, how can you contribute, a contact for the developers of the project, and all the technologies that you use within your project have also to be open source. Otherwise, your project can't be open source if it's built in something that's not open source. So this is super, super important. Can't make enough emphasis. I would say the 2 key takeaways, other than understanding how to do it, is remember it has to be open source, and remember to choose the categories that fit your tracks. This is going to also affect, because it's going to help judges understand what are you following. Some ideas may be a little bit complex, and it's hard to get your what you want to do across. So this is definitely crucial to help judges understand what you're building or why are you building it. So that is pretty much it. Quick reminder is that afterwards you will get survey, so feedback survey. Please fill that. It's super helpful for us. And now I can't see the stream, but I'm pretty sure Human can tell me if there's any questions. But first, on site, are there any questions about how to do a submission? Yes. Okay. It's a little bit long. It's at the end of the day, it's a little bit consideration of the judge, because if it's unnecessary information in 7 minutes and you're just rambling, the demo is fine. Demo can be 7 minutes. Yes, it's yeah. Demo can be a little bit longer. Also, try not to make it 20 minutes, but there's no like hard number, because we understand going through a process, of course, is more time consuming. You can't just say less because like there's a flow. So that's fine. Yes. No, it can be in any account as long as it's public and open. Any other questions? Online, Human, are there any questions? Okay, so I think there's no questions. Thank you, everybody. I won't take more of your time. I know you're super busy, so best of luck and see you in a bit.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.